Hi friends. George Orwell is acknowledged by most political pundits, social, what do you call, sociologic studies, and thinkers in general to be probably one of the greatest minds of the 20th century. His books were considered to be so far-reaching and so visionary that he could foresee political developments 50 years ahead of his time. Not only that, there are many others who sometimes believe to credit him for probably what he didn't even foresee. Every line from his books is interpreted to say that look, George always knew this is what is going to happen, in America, in Russia, in democracy, in communism, in terms of social unrest, everything. That is the brilliance of the man. Two books of his stand out. The first is in vogue again, and it's always been in vogue every few years. It's 1984, where he talks about an all-pervasive government which is spying on you from every manner possible, and you know people live under the threat of government. That is one of his classics. That's also a great read. But the book that I really want to talk about, because you see, nothing is more great as per me if it not only packs a punch but makes you have rib tickling laughter along with it. If you thoroughly enjoy a book, most of all, if it's just this thick 90-page odd book about a bunch of animals and it's a laugh riot, and yet it gives you messages that will remain with you for a lifetime. It gives you also dialogue which is used in all sorts of literature and political discussions. All pigs are equal, some are more equal than others. I hope you know that most political parties and political commentaries keep referring to this dialogue. A story so simple, and yet you can feel every word, every line, every para to be, insinuating some already happened events or predicting others to happen in the future. A story simple. Men run a farm till the animals realize that what, we are being used and exploited, and they topple the humans, and they run the farm themselves till this class of pigs starts treating themselves as the leader of the animal farm, and they became the new elite. And the whole process that comes around with, and the events that unfold in quick succession. This is a very short read, a very thin read, and very masterfully crafted plots which you can keep guessing. People have written volumes on this book. The book ends in 90 odd pages, but I can tell you there are thousands of interpretations written of this book. People say, that incident referred to the whole Stalin Trotsky, tussle. That event foresaw the fall of the Soviet Union. That story talks about the whole Cold War. That story refers to, the whole Politburo of the communists, etc., etc. Everything. Good socialists, bad socialists, everything. So you can have your own interpretation. That's the beauty of this book. You see, you can interpret events and juxtapose this on human society. Say, Orwell was referring to that, This incident between this pig and the horse, that was referring to this world event. That's the beauty of this book. Once you've read it, every time you will see a political event happening, you will see people rising up and saying, we are from this NGO or something, we don't want power, power. And every time you will see mass movements world over, you will see huge protests happening, Every time you will see new political parties saying that, we are going to change the face of the country. Every time you see new political systems coming into power, every time you see a conflict between two major superpowers, you will be reminded of Animal Farm. The Animal Farm will not leave you. It's a one way ticket. Once you've read it, you will use this as a reference every time you see some societal and or political change. That's the beauty of George Orwell's thin book with animals as its central character. It is so profound. It is so dense. With every para meaning so many multiple levels of things that it will never leave you. To pack all of that knowledge, to pack all of that clear, crystal clear insight into a book so thin and with such lovably cute, humorous characters is an act of masterpiece. With that, I say that I don't think I should be having a longer vlog. After all, George Orwell could say his story in such a small book. I surely can give my tribute to him in much smaller words. I wish I could speak as clearly as he does, but still, I will try to live up to his reputation. If you have not read Animal Farm, please stop talking right now, listening to me right now. Go online, buy a PDF, do whatever, but read it. Read it if you understand or want to understand human behavior. Read it if you want to understand world politics. Because once you've read this book, you would have matured beyond a doubt significantly in your understanding of politics. Thank you, and go ahead and enjoy this book, because more than knowledge, this book is meant to be enjoyed thoroughly.